Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some super fun paper crafting. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so grateful that you decided to spend some of your day with me. For those of you who have bought me a coffee recently, or you have supported my website by making a purchase, or you are a member of my monthly members club, thank you so much for your tremendous support because you are helping me to keep this channel running. Thank you so very much. Today we're going to take something that's already cute and make it even cuter and sturdier. And here's what I'm talking about. We're going to take this nice 10x7 notebook that I found at the Dollar Tree, but you can probably find these anywhere. And we're going to dress it up using some chipboard and decorative fall themed paper. And we're going to turn it into a very sturdy notebook. So this will give you something really beautiful and decorative to carry around when you're writing notes or you're attending meetings. You will have that one-of-a-kind notebook, and it all starts with one of these. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so here's a closer look at the notebook we're going to be working with. As you can see, this is a perfectly fine notebook all by itself, but it is a very flexible one, and we are working with chipboard, so we're going to add some chipboard to this and make it a nice hard-bound notebook. We are going to deconstruct this and turn it into this. And this is so stinking cute. I love this tree. I love the look of autumn. I use Thankful at the bottom. Doesn't take a whole lot to decorate a book like this, but you can embellish it as much as you want. Then when you open it up, I haven't added anything to the inside yet, but I probably will go back and add a cut apart or maybe a pocket. I haven't decided, but you're able to see here where I deconstructed this portion and added it to my chipboard jacket. So when finished, again, this size is 7x10. If you don't have 7x10, but you have another size, just modify it to fit the size that you do have and use this process to turn those not so sturdy notebooks into nice sturdy notebooks. So here is what we're going to be using. As I said, this is a chipboard project, and I will be using a medium weight chipboard, and I have the link in the description box. I have two pieces that measure 7x10. I am going to be using some lightweight to medium weight decorative paper. I have one piece that is 4 by 9 7/8, and I have one piece that is 12 by 9 7/8. Then here is my outside cover. I have one piece that is 12 by 12, and I have one piece that is 7 by 12. We're going to join these two pieces together to get our cover. So to join our pieces together, I'm using my 1-inch tape, and I am going to take that tape and just place it along the 12-inch side of my decorative paper. And then I'm going to peel away that backer. So I'll take this piece and just overlay it onto my tape. And I'll use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. So this is how it's going to look. And I'm going to take my two pieces of chipboard and lay them down just like this because I do want a portion of this green to show on the front. On this one, I have it covered by the tree completely, but on the back side, this is how it looks. I want my front to now look similar to this. So I am going to take my piece and I'm going to place my first piece down. Need to remove my double stick tape to bring it over so I can kind of get an idea of how much of that green I'm going to have showing. And I'll place that one piece down. Then I'll remove the tape backer from this piece and we'll place it down. And so when I place this down, I'm going to place it down using about 3/8 of an inch in spacing. So now I'm going to flip this over and just make sure everything is nice and stuck. I'll bring in my stylus, and I'm going to take that stylus and just drive it against the chipboard and press down into my paper to score. Now, if you have a paper that has a tendency to crack, this might help to minimize the cracking. It won't stop it, but it might help to lessen the severity of that crack. So let's just go all the way around. And let's make sure we go on the inside here as well. Now I'm going to use my finger blade to trim away some of that excess. And now I can take this and I'm just going to stand it and just start folding this paper over. Then I'm going to use my finger blade and I am going to miter my edges. And what I'm doing is I am basically cutting in, but I am not cutting up to the chipboard. I leave just a little bit of white and then I cut out. And that gives me the ability to wrap around this paper in a nice professional way. So we're going to do this on all 4 sides. And if you happen to cut too close to the chipboard and when you fold over, you notice that some of the chipboard is showing, go ahead and take one of the pieces that you cut and just place it down, and that way it'll cover any gaps that you might have in that chipboard. So I'm going to use my tape runner, and I am going to place my tape from end to end. Then I'm going to take my pieces and just fold them over. And then we can use our big old spatula, bone folder, or whatever it is you use to smooth out and get everything nice and stuck. So now your piece is going to look like this. We are going to take our double stick tape and we're going to lay it down on that chipboard to give us a nice cover of tape on the chipboard. So I'll put one here in the middle. And I'm not using glue on this because I'm using large pieces of chipboard and I don't want to expose it to possible warping. But if you don't like to use the amount of tape that I'm using, by all means use whatever it is you think is going to work for you in terms of adhesive. I am using the tape because I am satisfied with how it looks and how it helps on a project like this. So then I'm going to use my big old spatula to get everything nice and stuck. And I'll take this and we're just going to set it to the side for a moment. We're going to bring in those 2 pieces that measure 12 by 9 3/4 and 4 by 9 3/4. So we're going to take it and we'll be placing it down just like that. But before we do, I need to cover the back of this piece in tape, which I've done. And we need to add tape to the perimeter of this piece. I've already done a portion of it and I'll do the rest with you guys. So I am going to take my tape and lay it down. Now when you are placing the adhesive along the perimeter, you can use glue on this because you're not covering this whole thing in glue. You are simply covering the outer 4 edges. So yeah, you can use your glue on this. Get this nice and stuck. And now I'm going to peel away my tape backer from this piece as well as the hard jacket piece. So let me go ahead and remove these. I'm going to remove all of these pieces and I'll be right back. All right, so I have removed the tape backers from all pieces. We're going to take the inside liner piece that measures 12 by 9 3/4, and I'm going to place it down first. And get that nice and stuck. Then I'm going to bring in this piece that measures 4 by 9 3/4, and we're going to place it down, just basically matching it with that first piece. And we'll get that stuck. Now I'm just going to make sure that I go in and define that spine very well. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing this way, and then I'll reinforce the spine. I'll flip it on this side, bring my adhesive this way, and reinforce that spine. Then I can stand it, use my big old spatula to go across that top to really get a nice squared spine. And this is the front of our journal. And I think that that is so stinking cute. So we are going to take this and set it to the side because we now need to deconstruct this notebook. So I'm going to find the center of the notebook. I don't have a staple remover, so I am just going to take my paper piercer, go into that staple, and open it. And I'll open both of them in the same way. Now, if you have a staple remover, this is going to be a much easier process for you, but I don't happen to have one. So now I'm just going to go under and pull that out. And I'll go under here and pull it out. And I'm going to save this because I know I can find something to use this on, and I can even recover it if I wanted to cut it in half and create 2 of these. So don't throw those out. So then I'm going to bring in my jacket. I'm going to take this piece and make sure that I have it centered. And then I'll just go ahead and close it because I do want to make sure that that piece is in there and it's nice and centered. So then I can open this. So once I know that I have it how I want it, so I'm going to bring in my long arm stapler and I'm going to insert my staples. So I am going to just press down really hard to go through like that. And then we'll come to this end and I'll place my stapler and I'm going to punch hard. And now I have 2 staples in my book. And so now we have our second beautiful little hard bound notebook. And it started with a 10 by 7 notebook from the Dollar Tree, but I decided I wanted to dress mine up a little more. So I deconstructed it, made my own cover, and it was easy peasy to do so. So when you open it, you can see that we have this nice little notebook here. I am just going to find a little decorative piece for the outside and we'll be finished. So just like on this one, I am going to add just a nice little saying to the bottom. And this time I'm going to use Count Your Blessings. I'm going to take my tape runner and add tape to the back. Then I'm going to put this down so that I have a nice little border. And then I'll use my finger blade to just trim it out. And now we have this nice little piece that we can put on top of this. But before I do, I want to add a couple of my mini brads just as decorative pieces on this. So I'm going to take my paper piercer and pierce 2 holes, one on each end. And I'll pierce it right over here. And then I'll add these 2 mini brads. They just give it a little decorative touch. And so now we can take this and we'll be able to put this right here. So I'm going to use my hot glue. Add some hot glue to the back, making sure that I put hot glue on the tops of those brads. Now I can take this and figure out where I want it. Put it down. I'm going to stand it up just to make sure I have it nice and even. And now we have another beautifully finished 10 by 7 notebook that we turn from being a flexible to a hardbound. That's how easy it is. So even if you're not working with the 10 by 7, you can still use this process. Let's say you're working with the 4 by 6. Cut your chipboard to be 1/8 inch larger than whatever it is you're working with, and then you won't have any problem with having a good fit. So I am going to bring that first one back in so that y'all can see just how gorgeous these are, how beautifully they present, and how beautifully they would look as a set. So if you wanted to gift, sell, or keep these, that option is totally up to you. But whatever you do, you have created something absolutely beautiful. And I have no doubt that you guys can do this, and I have no doubt that you'll do them beautifully. So I hope that you have liked this video. If you have, please hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. As always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.